relating to the arrest of 2 members of parliament belonging to the opposition. And you guided well the House on the fact that these members were summoned and that the immunity of members does not extend into other matters other than the matters therein in the House. Secondly, that when they were summoned, the normal procedure was respected, that the Speaker was duly notified, and in fact, the summons were communicated through the Speaker of Parliament. Honorable Speaker, as may be aware, these 2 honorable members of Parliament were eventually arraigned before court, charged, they applied for bail, and they were granted bail by court, and very stringent terms. And on Thursday, the Honorable Sawanyana was released first by court, High Court, and immediately abducted by security agencies who cannot name. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, yesterday, the Honorable Segirinya Mohammed was released by court on the same stringent terms and immediately abducted. Honorable Speaker, my procedural concern is that, one, I am seeking your guidance whether this time around the Speaker was notified of these abductions, because we have failed to make trace of these 2 members. I wanted to go and speak to the family of the 2 honorable members' families. I did not know what to tell them. I don't know where their family members are, and the security is mum about it. They have been denied access, the immediate family. The Honorable Sawanyana, it's beyond 48 hours. It's not been produced in any court by the Honorable Speaker. And here we are, legislating while the state is violating the rights of our own members of Parliament. And for us, business is normal, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as members of Parliament and as leaders, the world is watching us, behaving as though the world is normal when these violations are going on, including brutal abductions that cast these members of Parliament as criminals. Honorable Speaker, we know the fact that these members have not been found guilty of any offense. And we know certainly that even if they were guilty, the laws of the land are very clear on how to treat those that have been indicted, prosecuted, and found guilty. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, without the state explaining what is going on, we are constrained to participate with the government in violating the laws of the land and violating the rights of citizens and leaders in particular. Honorable Speaker, we demand in the immediacy through your chair that the state explain the situation, because we are constrained, on my side at least, to move as though it's normal business, that members of Parliament can be abducted and taken away and nobody says anything about it. It's normal. Honorable Speaker, their lawyers can't access them, families can't access them, not even their doctors. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we are here to ask through you that an immediate explanation be supplied to this House, to the families, as to what happened. And we are scared, Honorable Speaker, when you hear the head of state communicating detention without trial. Honorable Speaker.
The procedural matter.
The procedural matter is for the Right Honorable Speaker to guide the House whether it is normal and therefore we should sit and relax things, okay, Right Honorable Speaker, or that you have been briefed as the first case was about this abduction?
Right, Honorable Speaker. Just hold on, please.
Oh.
The member rose on the procedural matter. Of course, it is not normal for that to happen. It is abnormal. And the best person to explain that situation cannot be me, because I did not participate in any of them. I had received earlier a request from the Honorable Member for Remiyaga to raise the same thing as an urgent matter, that we can hear from the government, from the executive branch of government, what the situation is, because I was also hearing about it for the first time. So can I allow the Honorable Member to raise it substantially and address it to the people who can deal with this matter rather than the Speaker? Because this time, if we are talking about the rearrest of the two members, certainly the warrants were not in writing, in which case they couldn't have come to the Speaker. I did not receive any phone call that such matter was pending. So I am also just heard from the Honorable Member for Remiyaga that there were the arrest of members who had been granted bail. So maybe raise it substantially, and then
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable.
Motion, just hold on.
Speak, and I'll give way to the motion at an appropriate.
Honorable Remiyaga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am raising this motion under Rule 59. The background to this motion, Mr. Speaker, in the last parliament, we had an MP arrested and treated in the similar way that the Honorable Alan Sewanyana and Honorable Segirinya are being treated. This parliament suspended the sitting until the minister responsible for internal affairs was able to produce that member of parliament. So the motion I am moving under 59, Right Honorable Speaker, is for this parliament to suspend this sitting until our colleagues have been freed, who were kidnapped by people who were dressed like thugs. That is the motion I am moving, Right Honorable Speaker. If you allow me, I will justify. The history is that it has happened before in this parliament when an MP was treated in similar circumstances. Parliament suspended the sitting, Mr. Speaker. If you allow me, I'll go ahead and move the motion.
Honorable Member, for the orderly conduct of business in the House, a motion of such significance may be without notice, but at least you brief the Speaker so that we know how to process it. Because you cannot surprise the Speaker. The rules don't allow you to do that. That's why it is important that even if you are going to substantially do it in the floor, you alert the Speaker, say, because of the following, I was planning on doing the following. The law, the rules allow, there's precedent to that effect. So I would like to proceed that way. But to do it this way, it jams the whole process. So I am going to listen to Honorable Semuja and take a decision on what you have just said. But Honorable Sechikubo.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, the events surrounding the manner of honorable members of parliament.
You are raising it as an urgent matter, not as a debate.
Yes.
You are raising it as an urgent
Yes.
matter, yes.
Cannot go unchallenged by this very house. Right Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Muhammad Segirinya was rearrested yesterday, and I think, to put it in proper terms, kidnapped yesterday. Honorable Alan Sewanyana was equally kidnapped last Thursday after they had secured their bail. Right, Honorable Speaker, it is a strange procedure, but it involved even the International Division of the Criminal Court, whereby members are certified that they have no any other pending charges against them, and they were accordingly set free. Honorable Speaker and members, for us to sit here and look on as if there is no constitutional order in this country is a matter of deep regret. That is the law. All members here swore to protect and defend the Constitution. And the Constitution, Article 28, is very clear. The presumption of innocence is cardinal in our criminal procedure systems. So therefore, Right Honorable Speaker and members, today you might think that yes, it is over Alan Sewanya and Segirinya. Tomorrow it will be you. I remember, Right Honorable Speaker and members, I was arrested on Friday around 2020 in January for the breach allegedly of quarantine of foot and mouth disease. I was arrested from Remiaga Market on a Friday by General Tumwine. But by the time I was produced before court on Monday, charges had changed to attempted murder. And here I am, I'm NRM, I'm on this side. So for members who might think that you are safe because it is happening to the other side, you never know which direction these winds might blow. And therefore you must be very careful. We must be very careful as members of parliament. I don't subscribe to NUP, but I think they deserve the right as Ugandans, even if they are not members of parliament. They deserve protection as Ugandans.
Are you debating now or are you raising an urgent matter?
To that extent, Right Honorable Speaker, I'm seeing there is no Minister of Internal Affairs. I'm seeing there is no Right Honorable Prime Minister. But at least I'm seeing members of the UPDF seated here. And they are very quiet. When these matters are being raised, they are very quiet. They are not helping the situation here. And yet they are supposed to be sitting and watch events and be able to help the House and the country. So, Right Honorable Speaker, this is a top challenge to this House, from which political side you stand. This is our Constitution we swore to protect and defend, and I would therefore, Mr. Speaker, would support the motion that this House deserves a clear explanation on what is happening to our colleagues, members of parliament. Then we can come out with a straight face and we face the country. Otherwise, all of us are tainted. It is as if we are in a conspiracy. And for one, I must say, I'm not part of the conspiracy. Let us treat these matters of national importance as, first of all, members of this country, Ugandans, and as well as members of parliament. Honorable Speaker, I thank you. And I demand that this position, government puts a position as to why the government of the people is resorting to kidnapping its own people. It's terrible. It's unexplainable. You can't explain it. You can't justify it, Right Honorable Speaker. I beg support.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Remiaga. First of all, there's no motion to second or support. That's a procedural matter that I'd like to correct. There's no motion substantial before the House now. There is no motion. There's no motion. Because until I allow it, it's not a motion. That's what the rules say. And that's why the honorable member is quiet, because he knows I have to give guidance on the matter. Honorable members, the matter being raised is serious to the extent that we don't know what happened. I, as presiding officer and leader of this House, I need to know the circumstances under which my members are, If they are going to be arrested, I need to know so they alert them and prepare them and move them forward. That's what the law says. When there were summonses were issued for the first time, the office of the speaker called these members, talked to them, and even discussed lawyers so that when they go, they should not say they are going to hide or run away or something. They should go because the summons say so. And they went, and what happened, happened. Our expectation was that the processes would continue, and I said it here, if the processes should show that they are guilty of conduct that is against the law, then they would face the consequence of their action. But should it be proved that the allegations could not be proved beyond a reasonable doubt, then they would be excusable, in which case they would come and join us here. I said that the first time this matter came up, and I say it again for purposes of clarity and consistency. What the Honorable Member for Remiaga told me today, however, was not within my knowledge, and neither was it under my authorization or notification to the members who have been rearrested. A rearrest in the circumstance would mean they release you as you are walking out, enjoying your freedom, and then they rearrest you. I don't think the people who did the rearrest had the knowledge or the time to come back to the speaker to seek notification, to give notification to the speaker that the following members were going to be rearrested. So that was not done, and it's irregular under the law. Be that as it may, the circumstances, in the circumstances, I need to know the reason they were arrested. I need to know where they are being kept. I need to know why they are being kept. It could not be for the same reason for which bail had been granted. There must be other reasons. I just need to know as the leader of the House. Can somebody give me that information? Because I need to know.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And thank you, the leader of opposition and the Honorable Sechkubo and Honorable Semuju for raising this important matter. As we have said, Mr. Speaker, this is a very, very important and sensitive matter. It is true that the two leaders were arrested and they are with the government. Government arrested them. And I want to request, Mr. Speaker, that you give us a short time and the Minister of Internal Affairs will come and give a statement about where they are, because this issue has just been, yes, this issue has just been raised here on the floor of the House. And it's an urgent matter, a sensitive matter to this House, not only this House, but to the entire country. So if we request you, Mr. Speaker, we do request you that you give us a short time, we get the appropriate answer to give to this House so that everybody can know where the two leaders are. And if you did, Mr. Speaker, allowed us up to tomorrow, that would be the best time. Thank you.
Honorable members, when things are really tough, that's when you need to be calm. Because you make additional mistakes if things are tough and you also start raising your voice and moving by action. When things are difficult, it's better to reflect on the next course of action. And I call upon the House to do just that. Because somebody else has made a mistake, we should not make a mistake. In other words, we should not make a mistake because some other person has made a mistake. This is the House of Representatives. And I urge you, honorable members, the situation is as we know them. Members have been rearrested. Should I now throw this House into confusion? Should you throw this House into confusion? I thought would be best placed if we, in a very organized way, articulate the issues and send a message, clear message, that this should never be done. This cannot be done, and we are here. I thought that's the message we should send. So I really call upon members that we need to process this thing with some level of calmness. Until I get a clear information on the question I have posed, will not be able to proceed with this business. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask the government chief whip to get in touch with the people responsible for this, the Minister of Internal Affairs. I'm hoping that they were arrested by the police so that in another 15 minutes, we can proceed with the business of the House. House suspended for 15 minutes.
Ekigenda mu maaso kijja kuba basalawo bekiteri kutuula. Leero tunywe. Omuzannyo guyise. Honorable Simba. Omuzannyo guyise. Bajja twekube tukwate buli omu ku sayidi eri. Speaker baba akomawo era tuyimira. Twambale t-shirt tugyemu engatto. Yazere talina kyamu.
Can I sit here?
Njagalako biliyoni for the meantime. Agena chapa because he's not ready to spend now. Agena chapa agena chapa Lakum salam.
nayenga byunga ajifunye nga ajifunye sitoni na ibada na chima
an elected
dictatorship.
Honorable members, I think many of you did not go out. I'm the only one who went out and came in. So I can't say welcome back. We suspended the proceedings of the House because there are questions I needed answers to, which will guide us on how we proceed. I now have in the House the Right Honorable Prime Minister, who will be making a short statement, and she tells me she has come with the Attorney General to give some explanations, and then we see how to proceed. Let's have this, receive this information, because I also need to know. Right Honorable.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, I want to state that it is true. The Honorable Sewanyana and the Honorable Sejirinya were rearrested. One was rearrested the other day and another one yesterday. Right Honorable Speaker, it is also true that the Honorable Sewanyana yesterday had a statement and was interrogated at Chireka CID in the presence of his lawyers. Today, the Honorable Sejirinya is also going to be interrogated by CID in the presence of his lawyers. Honorable Speaker, I know that you are supposed to be notified, and this information for you is coming. Honorable colleagues, I beg to submit.
Procedure.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker, I saw on TV, NTV, Honorable Segrinya being kidnapped or arrested, whichever time it is, and he was crying, "Afande, I am sick. I am sick." And he was being bungled into that vehicle. Now, the Prime Minister is saying that they are with Segrinya and a statement will be gotten from him. He's not taken to hospital. The man was crying on camera. How do we proceed when the Prime Minister says our colleague is going to be produced at CID to make a statement, but when we had him crying on camera that he's sick?
Procedure.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And I really would like to thank the Prime Minister. As courtesy and decorum of this House, even when the information is so wanting, but we proceed under the decorum. It's the etiquette of this House. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like the Right Honorable Prime Minister to inform this House, if indeed there was need for rearrest, the office of the Speaker has been open 24/7. The Deputy Speaker has been open the office 24/7. What prompted government, as you say government, to conduct a kidnap of the honorable members of parliament? The first procedure you used to summon them through the office of the Speaker. What was strange this time around, that it was imperative that you had to kidnap the members of parliament? And lastly, these very honorable members, on being summoned through the office of the Speaker, presented themselves to Masaka Central Police Station. And indeed, they were granted a police bond. And when they were required, they still went back and responded to their bond, and until when they were produced in courts of law. Right Honorable Prime Minister, have you found the office of the Right Honorable Speaker deficient, that you are now taking over the roles of the office of the Speaker of Parliament?
Can I just seek guidance from you?
Yes.
Are you still on procedure?
Yes. The procedure question, Right Honorable Speaker, was, is it procedure right for the leader of government business to mock the institution of parliament, disregard it, and take over the affairs of this parliament as if there is no speaker and the deputy speaker in this parliament? Is she therefore procedure right, Right Honorable Speaker?
No. Please. You know, sometimes we find ourselves in really, really difficult situations. And I find that that is what the Right Honorable Prime Minister is facing, as well as the Speaker. And everybody in here is faced with that same situation. But I think the solution is how we rise and deal with it in an organized way and find a solution. I think that's what helps eventually. How did they handle it when it became difficult? It's what will, that's the hallmark of true leaders. We don't, what is the word? We don't over-radicalize the situation, but we find a solution that deals with the specific problem in a way that gives us decorum as members of parliament and the House of Parliament. The Right Honorable Prime Minister has stated what she has stated, and I expected that the Land Attorney General was going to say something on this matter. When we start doing procedure order, honorable members, we lose focus, we get our eyes off the ball. There's a problem. Members have been rearrested without the authority of the speaker. Even notification was not given to the speaker. The Prime Minister has informed us one of the members, who I'm not aware the name because she didn't state the name, the Honorable Sewanyana, appeared before police in the presence of his lawyers yesterday. And the Honorable Segirinya is due to appear before the police for interrogation in the presence also of his lawyer. That is the information we have now from the Right Honorable Prime Minister. And she says the letter for the speaker is on the way.
Yes.
I don't know whether it's coming by border or, but that should have happened before the act. That should have happened before the act. But honorable members, really, I seek your indulgence on this matter. Because what we do now will either be good for the way forward or may not help the way forward to find a solution in this matter. Issues remain outstanding. Maybe the Attorney General can help us with some aspects.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I join issue with the statement issued by the Prime Minister. Indeed, they have been arrested, and everything is being done to make sure that they're treated in accordance with the laws. Oversight, it was an error not to come to you in time, but
please let's have some order. After that show of strength, can we now become normal and deal with these matters? After that, Honorable Samujo, please let's listen to each other. We want a solution. I want a solution. You want a solution.
Mr. Speaker,
please. Honorable Samujo, please. Land Attorney General, please.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. The two colleagues, Right Honorable Speaker, are going to be presented in court in accordance, and they can go back as many times as the offenses they commit.
Land Attorney General, please. Can we have some order, please?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for your kind indulgence, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, these are the kind of situations, as leaders of our people, we try to avoid. When I saw the Right Honorable Prime Minister come here, I had a warmth in my heart that finally mother is around to speak to the country. I was disappointed, of course. She's excusable. Surely she did not know what was obtaining. Right Honorable Speaker, the Attorney General and his statement is most disturbing. I'm only learning here that the Attorney General has a new constitution to which we are not privy, and therefore he can circumvent the position of the law and submit that, they will be produced. We have the 48-hour rule, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I heard you clearly, and you're right. When somebody makes a wrong, you do not join them to commit another wrong. That should be the limit. And between citizens and an eternal criminal state, the parliament is the firewall. And on my side, Right Honourable Speaker, I am constrained. I am a very good listener, very patient. Here, the head of government business. She had nothing to do with the house other than lamentation. The land attorney general, a senior at the bar, is being legally scandalous, Right Honourable Speaker. I can't certainly this. In the circumstances, Right Honourable Speaker, I would like to join you in not joining illegality. The biggest statement that a criminal state must receive today, that this should not happen again. And in the circumstances, I am constrained to continue leading my team, Right Honourable Speaker, in these circumstances, because you are milking the truth from the front bench. Right Honourable Speaker, I am afraid I'm out of this, I'll lead of this side, because the head of government business has no business to communicate on my side. The rights of citizens are being abused. The Attorney General believes that it's at his discretion to say they'll appear. A member was complaining, he's sick, he's ill. The Prime Minister believes that his life is in the future, will be taken to hospital or whatever at some stage. Right Honourable Speaker, I submit, I am constrained, I have no choice but to withdraw my team from this vulgar debate.
Procedure.
The leader of the opposition. Honorable members, can we have some order? Please, if you are sitting down, Honorable Sibambi, if you are sitting, please sit. If you are not, honorable members, as part of the rights of any member of this house, can we have some order? It's part of the rights of any member of this house to signify dissent in a decent way. I don't approve the idea of changing the dress code of this house. But I'm in no total, I'm not in any disagreement with the act of walking out. I have no problem with that. It's part of the expression of dissent that is permitted. That if you are not very happy with the situation, you can walk out. Because the option would be to stay and become problematic. So I applaud the leader of the opposition for his leadership, that he has led his team out of the chambers of this house without any drama, with the exception of the change of the dress code of this house. I applaud him for that, and that's good leadership. Because if they had resorted to any other thing, probably it wouldn't have been that good. And also applaud you for staying calm even when things begin to get rather heated. That should be the spirit in which we handle this business. If you disagree with the processes, you can walk out. That's acceptable. But the cause of the dissent must be put on record. Honorable members, it's problematic. When each time we find ourselves in this situation, it disturbs even the presiding officers. There are things that should be avoided. The Constitution is clear, and all the supporting laws made under that Constitution are clear about processes and procedures. Why flout them? Just why flout them? What is the emergency? Why flout them? Because when you do, we end up like this. And you give people with bad intent the excuse to do the things they have been longing to do. Can we just do things right? Today I was talking to some group of people, and I told them the biggest problem that we have in this country is our technical people stepping down directives from top officials of government. When they say do this, instead of assessing what can be done within the law, they just rush and do it. When the president says no border borders on pavements, in the evening they deploy police to start beating border borders on the pavement. And yet what the president has stated is a policy direction, which must be stepped down by the policy people. What is the import of the president's statement that there should be no border borders on the pavement? It simply means create another lane for border borders. This process should not be done by evening, so that you clear the pavement. But in the evening, we deploy police, we start beating border borders. And that's exactly what is happening in this situation. There might have been instructions that do the following, and then you go and do it the wrong way. Technical people must learn to step down instructions that come from their leaders in terms of being implementable within the law. Just follow the law and you're safe. I don't have to have the Attorney General apologizing before the House that it was not done, it was improper. No, it's not necessary. It costs nothing to do the right thing within the law at the right time. It costs nothing. So here we are, honorable members. Right, honorable.
Right, Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, allow me to say thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to inform you that we have seen what has happened, and we are, as leader of government business, going to have all those MDAs come together, and we look for a way forward. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
House adjourned tomorrow 2 o'clock.